A GT4 shout out. I gave them a run through the tracks. And obviously SOP Motorsport, get onto Discord, say hello. A few viewers have ducked out because we did lose the thing. Hey, thank you, Captain. Actually, no, Simon. No. I did say that to you. No.
What's going on?
Simon's just congratulated Captain Stalin on being our first subscriber.
No.
No, fake news. Fake news. Don't do the Trump on us.
Yeah, no. Second, right?
Yes, Stalin is second, yes. But if he's within the first 10, he will get a badge that says he's a founder. So we're looking at the guys just now. They're very near. We're on board with Baggy at the back of the pack. We're expecting him to make big moves. And are you kidding? I've been blue screened.
Really? Okay.
I've really
don't
been
worry
blue
about
screened.
it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. So what we'll do, I'm not even going to bother changing the screen. Give me 2 seconds, peeps. If I spend time on the mouse hiding this, then it just takes longer to get it done. Oh no, there we go. So yeah, GT4 World Cup. GT4, sorry, not World Cup, what am I talking about? GT4 World Series, Bailey. Give us a quick run through the cars involved and the tracks, mate, and I will get logged in as quickly as possible.
Yes, so I'll get that graphic up myself, and I'll quickly hop in the server so I can hopefully catch the start.
There we go. It had to happen though, ladies and gentlemen. We absolutely, definitely could have predicted this because we have Bailey and I both coming through loud and clear. The blue screen gods obviously decided they were going to come in and yeah, I don't want to use that phrase, but yeah, we all know the phrase we're making up. There is the loud graphics, there's the intro, there's me.
Okay, so we are racing. We are racing.
Do it.
Yeah, so we are underway. I can't describe to you. There's been a big pile up into turn one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars scrambling for position, trying to get around the incident. Baggy being one of them, I think. We've got I think that's the MSX in the Nissan GTI. He's pulled over to the side. There's a Ferrari pulled over to the side. I didn't realize how wide the track was into turn one. It wasn't wide all the way. Let's just put it that way. It closed off fairly quickly. I'm watching THKKR battling side by side with MSX in the pink Nissan. So it wasn't him that had an off. And they're going through. Can't tell you what corner that is. I'm sorry, but this is an exciting start. We've got 3 cars battling here for 8th position. EMTDI in the Porsche. And the other Porsche, Van Struff, Paul, in the other Porsche, in the green Porsche. Only 2 tenths behind ERS Comedics in the Audi. And they're coming to... No, they still haven't done a lap yet. Wow.
Yeah, still on the opening lap. We are back live with TV Pictures, and I'm going to try and quickly pick up the action. And I think that is actually giving myself an impossible task, judging by the timings that I'm seeing on my screen. These cars
jump on board with
absolutely Ben Gallagher. Well, I'm strangely, yes, we did jump on board with Ben Gallagher. We are watching Ben Gallagher with a rear view mirror for ERX Chromedix and Van Stroll Paul. In fact, that's Jack West Ham. The timing bells are just updated. So Chromedix has been mugged again by Jack in the Bentley. So one of the new guys making a name for him. 2 of the new guys, in fact, Ben and Jack, both up at the business end of things. We've got Ray Steve, Jimmy Boy Horn and Stefan VH all in the pits. So I'm wondering if they sustained damage during the opening exchanges. We've got Wilson Big Mike, who's on track in 17th, so he is the furthest back driver that's on track at the moment. Red Flyers in 16th. M. Roche is in 15th with Baggy down in 14th. He will be making moves for the rest of the race, I would imagine. This could well just be a ploy to get himself some camera time because he knows the amount of overtaking he's going to be doing. They go side by side into that corner as they come along towards Ngwawe. Yeah, and there's contact between the two cars, and that's going to
no.
cause problems. It wasn't a big contact. One car's facing the right way, one car's facing the wrong way, and it is Baggy that's the wrong way, so he's going to quickly right himself. He's going to cost himself some tyres there as well, but he's going to get back on the case. I'm going to very quickly remember to mute my voice so the drivers don't have to listen to me. So Baggy finds himself dropping down the field. Kamikaze in the Lamborghini that made contact with him is coming down Crowthorne into the Jasketsky sweep around Barbecue. This is one of the most technically difficult sections on any racetrack. Getting this kink right, you need to get it right from the bottom of the hill so you can get yourself round Barbecue and into Sunset before you hit the clubhouse bend. And Roche has managed that fantastically. MSX 1978 in that bright pink Nissan finds himself in 12th with THKKR is in 11th in the Porsche. Ace tuned in 10th, Mad Max in 9th, Ian TDI's up to 8th, Van Paul, and there we see some kind of connection error. That's a connection error. I think someone has just been glitched out the game, unfortunately. No, we've still got 20 cars in.
We've got 20 at the moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of sideways movement there. I'm not sure if my internet maybe kicked off a bit. I think if I closed that down. Close that down.
So I'm just going to mention something that surprised me a lot, and you probably, if you listened to me at the start, you would have heard how I was reacting to the chaos that was caused by the widening track into turn 1 and then narrowing track into turn 2, and the rest of the track is quite narrow as well. And you said earlier, just before we kicked off with the race itself, about how great this track is for overtaking. And you can see the parts of the track. I'm on board with Jack Stamina, I think that's what we're calling him, in the Bentley, and you can just see how wide it is. But if you look how wide it is into turn 1, it's much wider, and I think there's probably about 5 cars wide. And the action hasn't stopped. If you look at your map, is also in the bottom right hand of the screen. Look how close all the cars are. They're all on top of each other, and it's off.
Oh, Jack Crow,
I don't know what's going on.
There. That's 3 cars have just inexplicably spun. We've absolutely lost a car there. I believe, was that the Lamborghini of Kamikaze? No, it wasn't.
I think there was a Ferrari, I believe.
So that would be Mad Max Turner with green Ferrari. So yeah, so there was all kinds of carnage happened there. I'm not sure entirely, but yeah, this has been. But as you were saying, Bailey, yes, turn 1 at Kyalami is a fantastically unique corner. It is actually called Crowthorne, so I was at the wrong part of the track earlier. Kyalami is the last turn, but Crowthorne, it does widen massively. You can very easily go 5 wide round there, and it does close off to a sharp right left called the Junksel sweep and then into Barbecue.
Barbecue, yes.
Barbecue, yes. The top of the hill is actually called Crocodiles, which is just is it not like equipment? The Crocodiles is the sharp right.
Yes, and there's also Cheetah.
There is.
I noticed.
There's a corner called Cheetah as well. So again, it's one of those things, Bailey. You've seen yourself when you commentate on tracks. They either have some of the dullest names on the planet, or just some absolutely wonderfully imaginative, completely unpronounceable names that we love to fall over.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get over the action we've had in the first, 6-7 minutes?
Yeah, we've been going now for less than 6 minutes. We have seen multiple overtakes, quite a few incidents, and quite a few of the big runners down at the back of the pit, talking about we're jumping on board with Baggy in his indigo line team colour Porsche. He's finding himself down in 14th. He started in 20th, Bailey. He made his way up, was involved in a bit of an incident with Kamikaze, who has now got the move done again. So he's overtaken Kamikaze and got past him again, and he'll be looking to make a massive charge up the field here.
Have a closer look for me, John. If you just have a little bit of a analysis on the way he's driving the car. Is he driving as if there's damage? Do you think?
We'll certainly have a look. The damage, when he made the contact, it was a full side on. So if anything, he's going to be missing a bit of aero on his left-hand side. Right. Now, if he was driving the Ferrari, I could probably tell you if he was carrying a bit of damage. But it is Baggy who's an alien level driver, and he is in the Porsche, which to me is a completely alien machine. I know what a petrol tank holds, I know the engine drive, I know most things about it, I just don't know how to drive it.
Well, Mr. Osh in the Ferrari in front being attacked by Baggy, but he was defended on the main straight. So here we go.
So yeah, he's going to make Baggy work for that. Baggy will be looking to engage a cutback here. Oh, and the Ferrari's on the wiggle. Baggy's just gone round the outside. He's absolutely gone clean round the outside. Most mere mortals, Bailey, would have gone for a cutback there and trying to take him back. But Bailey, Baggy absolutely not for turning on that one, was he?
No, full confidence in the grip of that car for sure.
Definitely. So he finds himself up into 13th now, and he will be fastidiously hunting down Ben Gallagher, who did find himself up near the front of the field.
John, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you over here, but we've got to change the lead. ERS Militant is in 3rd. There's a battle for the lead. TKR Saturn in the Bentley and Speedy in the Porsche. I don't know what's happened. I think.
Well, I've just jumped on board with Militant, and the front of his bumper looks like. Oh, and there's a car just going shooting off in the background. Who was that? That was
a Bentley.
That was a Bentley. TKR Saturn. So the race leader. No, TKR Saturn's still on track. I think that was a back marker. I think that was a back marker. Wow. So whoever it was is back. That to me looked like a connection issue when people disconnect.
Possibly.
No, possibly. When people disconnect, they just go in a straight line and vanish. So that is unfortunately a server loss we have gained there, which is a pity.
Wow.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. So there is a 3-way battle for the lead.
Someone there.
I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say that Militant has had himself an issue there. He does have the front bonnet that looks like.
You're right.
Yeah, if you have a look at that there.
Wow.
Yeah. He has sustained himself some damage. So he finds himself in 3rd place with TKR Saturn in the Bentley, finding himself absolutely at the business end of proceedings with Speedy in the Porsche, keeping him absolutely honest as they come into the last 3 turns to complete lap 5 of what has been an absolute harum-scarum, rock'em-sock'em roller coaster open to the race, Bailey.
John, I'm seeing yellow flags. Number 17.
Yellow flags, number 17. So
is that 17? 11.
27 perhaps.
Yeah, 11. Ben Gallagher. He's off.
Ben Gallagher's off.
He's pulled over.
Wow, so he's had himself another off. No, he is finding himself.
Is he struggling to get that car going, I wonder?
Yeah, has he done enough damage?
I've had a problem with getting the car moving after a big crash, whether that's a slide-on crash or
yeah, we're jumping back on board with Cromedic, sorry, Bailey, and he's going side by side with Ian TDI.
Oh, hello.
I tell you what, Vanster Paul is getting involved as well, so Ian TDI's got the move done on the Porsche, but there's more Porsche on Porsche action behind that, as Vanster Paul finds himself in an absolutely ideal position to come and say hello to Ian TDI as well, potentially take that place here. So Ian TDI, look, I don't know if he's made a slight mistake or these two guys have just put in an absolute shift and worked together, but they have absolutely swamped Ian TDI. He finds himself running a bit wide, absolutely pushing the edge of the track grip there, coming through this top section of the track, and these three guys, and Vanster Paul, perhaps a bit much slipstream in there, find himself wiggling on the exit, and that's given Ian TDI the merest of breathing spaces as they drive past Ben. Yep, so he will need to move his car, obviously, because he is going to cause a yellow flag there, and that is a legitimate overtaking.
The rules?
He does need to move that car ASAP. So
what happens though with if like these guys are racing, aren't they?
If they overtake under yellow flag conditions, they will have to give the penalty back, or they will receive a drive-through or a 30-second stop with penalty. Ben has returned to the pits. Good lad, Ben. So he has gone back to the pits to remove the yellow flag potential. And what have you jumped on?
Mr. Roche, Kamikaze, Wilson, Big Mike, 3-way battle, another 3-way battle. All different cars this time. Bentley, Lamborghini, and a Ferrari. This is fantastic. This track is fantastic.
Yeah, the track really is, like I say, there's some really... if you make the slightest mistake on a corner, it really can take the top speed and give other drivers, and that Ferrari is absolutely licking its lips at the possibility of taking Wilson Big Mike in the Bentley here. And I tell you, Wilson Big Mike, you've got to feel sorry for that guy, looking to make an attack while still having to defend against the cars with completely different powertrains. Of course, he's up against a middle engine rear wheel drive car behind and in front with completely different braking and acceleration zones. So this is absolutely as strategic a battle as you get as they come into turn 1. All three drivers take exactly the same line, looking to take advantage of this ultra close slipstream they're going to enjoy as they come along the top straight into what is, as well, Bailey, we'll have to mention the views from this track, I'm sorry, are absolutely phenomenal. As you come down from Le Coupe to the mine shaft into Crocodile, that is just an absolutely ridiculous view of Johannesburg you get, and truly, truly stunning. I really hope this track turns to night as well, just so guys can see exactly what it is I'm gushing about. But I can assure you, this is absolutely a phenomenal track to drive. And there's some
down the
Bailey.
inside.
What was saying?
No.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I thought,
No, THKKR has indeed just got the move done on Ace Tune. Sorry, Mad Max Taylor.
And look at the Ferrari.
Mad Max
and the
Taylor.
Ferrari's looking to make a move now. Yeah, you're right. Are we thinking the same thing? No, we're not.
No, I jumped back on board. We did have an overtake there. THKKR overtook Mad Max Taylor to get himself to 7th. And I have jumped back on board with Ross in the Ferrari. He is still making moves to close the gap. But Kamikaze finds himself back in the sights of Ross, because Wilson Big Mike has got the move done and got himself ahead, so he is now ahead. So when we're saying he was the guy that lost out there, Bailey, he was in a middle engine rear wheel drive sandwich there, and he's got himself out in front, and he's left the Lamborghini and the Ferrari to fight it out. So this could certainly be a long-winded, interesting battle for the rest of the night, my friend.
Absolutely, and something that we should definitely keep an eye on. I've been keeping a bit of a close eye on this battle with MSX and Ace Tuned, which is getting very saucy indeed. Behind them is Baggy in 11th now. Baggy's making up the positions. He's got the pace for it. He's sort of, I'm going to have to say, stuck behind these two, because these two are battling back and forth, pulling each other along. In front, we've got Mad Max though, so that's another battle that was happening. This could get very interesting.
This really could. You've just had a notification. You have another subscriber, Scary Guy. Thank you, bud. That's another subscriber. We're only going the first night. Thank you very much for the subscription, mate. Really appreciate that. We've got people in the chat. Oh, Ben Gallagher's wheel cut out.
No!
He's in the chat, Ben. Ben, that's heartbreak, bud. Heartbreak. Yeah, you were doing well, mate. I'll tell you what, you were definitely a commentator's favourite there. Seeing you guys coming in and making a name for themselves, but you'll definitely be marking you as one to watch in the future, I think, Bailey. What do we reckon?
Absolutely, definitely, always.
Yeah, and this battle here, I'll give you a quick rundown. They'll go, oh no, we'll wait till we see what happens in turn 1 here. We'll see the Bentley runs
always
a little bit wide. Yeah,
very close here. I think the Nissan likes these first few corners. Look at the Porsche. The Porsche likes these first few corners, I think.
Oh yeah, let's jump on board with Baggy. He is enjoying a double slipstream there, and I think we could see some kind of magic going through these corners here.
Oh, MSX.
Oh, I tell you what, he's held that well. He lost the back. He did catch some grass. He didn't lose the car and such. He hasn't sustained damage. He hasn't made contact with anyone else. So we're going to call that an absolute masterful save. No, he's not. He stayed on the slipstream of Baggy, and that is not a bad place to be. Not a bad place to be, as Baggy now finds himself hunting down the Bentley of. That's not Wilson Big Mike, it's actually Ace Tune. Sorry, Ace Tune. I'm used to Ace Tune. Yeah. I'm not used to Ace Tune driving a Bentley.
A Bentley, no.
No, it's not usually a car that we see him in, but he now finds himself in the sights of Baggy, who is up to 10th place now, Bailey. So fairly ominous for the guys up the front of the grid, I would think.
Yep. I would be scared if I saw that green Porsche behind me. I mean, I've seen it many a time, but I have to let it pass. Not by choice.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, there's usually, anytime you see a green flag, there's usually a green Ferrari, there's a green Porsche, there's usually a blue flag. Porsche. Yeah, I couldn't get my words out there because I did see Ace Tune have a wiggle, and he's absolutely got himself into the jaws of Baggy. So we're reckoning 2 or 3 corners. Baggy will probably find the space. He runs nice and wide again in turn 1. Nice to take a different line. And there's another wiggle from the Bentley, and the Bentley's absolutely under pressure here. He's gone defensive to the inside and gone back outside to make that difficult for Baggy. He's certainly not giving in, and he's not giving up the place easily, but Baggy is now literally painting the rear exhaust of the car in front of him as they come round this quite frankly ridiculously tricky right-hander that still gives me nightmares. It really is a difficult corner to get right, and I do find myself struggling with it quite a lot. But Baggy, absolutely no quarter asked or given, no problems whatsoever. Still hitting down, and MSX 1978 Bailey is still hanging on in there, so he could look to get moves done if Baggy gets a move done in the right places. We see him just appearing in the background there, so he's still hunting these guys down as well, and very much looking to maintain himself a top 10 position here. Oh, side by side, Baggy right round the outside. I'm not sure if the Bentley did get enough drive there, but Baggy went past him like he was standing still, let's call that like it is, and he finds himself right in the grasp at MSX. So yeah, so Ace Tune didn't have a good crocodile turn there, and he finds himself behind Baggy, who's now up to 9th, and well and truly in the grasps of MSX 1978. We shall have ourselves a quick run through of what has been going on. Now we're 11 laps in. We've got TKR Saturn leading the race. He's got a 2.5 second gap over Speedy, who finds himself about 2 seconds ahead of Jack West Ham, with ERS Chromedix in 4th place. Ian TDI is in 5th, being kept well and truly honest by Vanstra Paul and a fellow Porsche. We've got another Porsche in THKKR in 7th place. So we've got 4 Porsches, 2 Bentleys and an Audi in the top 7. So I think that very much shows which cars are competent in here. We've got Mad Max Taylor in a Ferrari in 8th place. I can't say that's likely to be 8th for much longer. He does have Indigo Lime's very own Baggy 38 chasing him down, so we can expect a move done there pretty soon, I'm afraid. Baggy is that quick. Ace Tuned is at the moment sitting in 10th place in the Bentley. He does have MSX 1978 hunting him down, and we do have pit stops to go, so anything could happen. MSX 1978, as we just said, he's in the Nissan, he's in 11th with Big Wilson Mike. Another one of our Bentley drivers in 12th place with the Lamborghini of Kamikaze in 13th. We've got M. Roche in a Ferrari, was involved in lots of action early on, did get involved in a couple of incidents and finds himself off the pace slightly. Stefan V8's one of our regulars in an Audi's in 15th with ERS Militant in 16th. Red Flyer is in 17th, and Ray's Steve, another one of the new names in tonight's event, Bailey, in 18th, with Ben Gallagher unfortunately having wheel issues. And he has unfortunately had to back out, Bailey. So who should we jump on board? We're going to jump back on board with Baggy.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He is very, very close to getting a move done on Mad Max Taylor. He would expect his move to be done sooner rather than later, Bailey.
Yeah, he's not one to wait around, is Baggy, and he's got a lot of confidence in that Porsche ever since he had that incident. When was it? That one? Possibly, yeah. And he was quite far back. But he's making the moves. He did start last, you got to remember that. He started last, had a crash, went down to 14th, I think he was. Now he's in 9th, all over the back of the Ferrari. He does like the outside moves, it seems. Not the...
He does. Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm not sure whether it's so much he likes the moves or it's just he has the ability to make that move stick. Because if you're defending, and he goes up the inside,
down the inside.
Just does like to keep us commentators on our toes. Goes down Crocodile up the inside, an absolute textbook move done there. So I'm going to jump on board with MSX 1978 because Baggy's got some clear track, and he does have about 2 seconds of a gap to THKKR, which will probably take him about a lap and a half to make up the record. So we'll jump on board with MSX 1978. He is having himself a nice little battle with Ace Tune, a little Nissan on Bentley action. And these two guys have traded places already in this race, so it is likely to happen again. Although we do have a bit of a Porsche battle as well. Vanstra Paul half a second off the back of Ian TDI, fellow Porsche driver. EHKKR is in 7th in a Porsche, and if we see Baggy is in 8th in a Porsche, so we could see an absolute whitewash Porsche drivers here, Bailey.
Yep, we are sort of seeing it already, aren't we? It's like a developing hazard.
It's just a rolling Porsche German roadblock.
Yes. And in front, yeah, so who's Baggy got next to pick off? THKKR.
THKKR is his next victim.
But
yes.
look at these three, so close together. Ian TDI, Vance Paul, THKKR, yeah, they're all close, aren't they? And speaking
Vance
of...
Paul, there we go, he makes the same move that Baggy made on the previous lap. And
but
Ian TDI just says, thanks very much, I knew you braked too late, you had to give me space for the cutback, and Ian says, thanks very much. So Ian lost the place there for about a third of a second, very quickly got it back with a cutback there. I do know that, but that was a place that Ian and I traded places last night, and I have to admit, the move that Vance Paul tried, I did actually make that stick last night and hit the apex, so feeling rather smug at this point in time, I have to say. But we're still watching Vance Paul. He is definitely within striking distance, but I tell you what, he is more in striking distance of THKKR behind him. So this is going to be fun going along here, because Vance Paul is just out of the slipstream, I think, and THKKR may well be in it, and Baggy has just appeared on that start-finish straight as well, and I think Baggy, that's the sound of his engine. We will see him. The nose of his car will be there. He is there. So yes, just lurking ominously. Dun, 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 dun.
I was gonna say, if I don't see him appear into turn one before the camera switches, he can't be that close. But wow.
Yeah, exactly. He really was that. He is that close already. MSX 1978. Then he's still absolutely loving it this now. He is having some. I'm telling you, but these three drivers, I can assure you, are both grinning from ear to ear at what's going on here. The two of them absolutely. That's some beautiful defending there by Ace Tune. You got to give him full credit. He picked the centre line there, made MSX make the choice, and he's absolutely holding him off. But MSX has definitely got the pace here. So if these two get side by side and get the move done, MSX could well see himself taking off in the distance. But just now, this is all playing in the Wilson Big Mike's hands, because these two guys battling is costing them time to Mad Max Taylor, and I can definitely see Wilson Big Mike coming back into things a bit, Bailey.
Wilson Big Mike, yeah. He's always lurking. Oh no! Vance Paul, huge crash.
Oh, yeah, huge crash. Oh, that's a lot of damage on that Porsche. A lot of damage. And he's got Baggy coming up behind him. Yeah, he's got off the racing line. He's put his indicator on, so yeah, he's got himself off the racing line very neatly there, although...
Well, past two.
No, he's not giving it. There we go. Yeah, he has lifted slightly and left Baggy to take his preferred
That was
line.
a heavy crash.
Yeah, and we've got a blue flag situation here as well. So one of the back marker Bentley's red flyer, I believe that is. So yeah, the Porsche. I'm going to say the Porsche Vance Paul really wants to get himself into the pits at the end of this lap. Well, that damage won't be doing him much good.
Exactly, and I was going to say that it was unfortunate. I was going to say it's fortunate, where it happened, because he was right next to the pit lane. But I think he was he was carrying too much speed in the crash for him to get into the pit lane. He would have had a bit of a Lewis Hamilton pit lane cross if he did. I'm not too sure how the game reacts to that sort of
Not happily.
Okay, yeah. So he's done the right thing, I think.
Yeah. One of the things about this course was evident last night. In fact, we'll just quickly say, I didn't mention the E-Monster. Thank you very much for tuning in. GD Blue, happy Saturday to you too. Thank you, Casper UK, thanks for joining in. Yep, they were definitely on the sausage. IR Racing in the chat. I was going to say, one of the unique features about this course is the pit entrance. If you make a mistake in the penultimate corner, this corner here, we see the two Porsche going, you can very easily find yourself accidentally skidding into the pits. And it's very easily also to try and carry a bit much speed into the pits and clip the wall anyway. It is one of the most just fun and interesting pit entrances.
Wow.
Though I think the only thing that comes on par with it for insanity for me is Bathurst, obviously, that pit entrance that has the chicane in it. Who puts the chicane in a pit entrance, Bailey? Yeah.
Australians.
Yeah, Australians. That's exactly it. They put walls around the track and they put chicanes in the pit lane just, I think they had a look at Laguna Seca and thought, yeah, if the Youngs can do that, we could go. As we see two Porsches side by side, ENTDI and THKKR, and they are absolutely doing themselves no favours whatsoever, because in the background there's another Porsche, and it is of course the indigo lime colours of Baggy. So that little battle there, and Baggy really is just picking them off one at a time, isn't it? These guys have a battle, one of them drops off.
Yeah.
Baggy says thank you very much and just moves on to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what Baggy does best. So we're going to see another move down the inside from Baggy now, a bit too far behind.
Slightly far behind.
Very patient. Very patient is Baggy. You'll wait. One of these, he's either going to make the move or you're going to make a mistake, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And he is more than happy to just patiently wait.
Oh yeah.
Until the required point in time arrives.
He's overshot that. Taking position 2, he's down the inside is Baggy. Yeah.
Yeah, Ian. Was that Ian that ran wide there? Yeah, so the Porsche has ran wide. So Van Paul in the Porsche finds himself back. Baggy finds himself up another position, having overtaken ENTDI, so he is now hunting down THKKR. We've got Chromedix who's in 4th, Jack Westham who's plugging away nicely, keeping that distance at just under 2 seconds to Speedy, who is in 2nd, and TKR Saturn in the Bentley, after 17 laps around this amazing course, finds himself in the lead by just over 4 seconds. So incidents abound. Saturn's put in a really respectably decent opening shift here, Bailey.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Cromdix, whatever happened to him made him fall from 1st to 4th. He's sort of lucky, I'd say, to be in 4th. Just the way, I see yellow flags, just the way that this track's been basically taking drivers and punishing them quite harshly, hasn't it? But yeah, the top 4 are not massive close, are they? But still in a race.
Yeah, they certainly are, and with the pit stops still to come and pit strategies to be revealed, Bailey, we certainly could find ourselves with an unbelievable close to this race, as Baggy is now within 1 second of THKKR, looking to get himself into that top spot.
Did you say something about a pit stop?
Well, there isn't any mandatory pit stops. Can these guys do 100 minutes on 1 tank of fuel? Now 100 minutes was that 1 hour 20 minutes? I mean, that definitely seems like a possibility. I'm trying to think, it should be doable, but as we find Van Paul coming to the pits, I'm assuming that is for damage limitation. Given the state of the front of that Porsche, it is in a bit of a nick.
Hold on, how long was set on the timer for the race?
Was set to 1 hour and
40.
Yeah, 1 hour 40. Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah.
1 hour 40 is 100.
Oh, hello.
It's 100 minutes.
Oh, you surprised.
Oh, thanks to the. Oh, it was you. Oh, it's only you. Oh, is that it? Oh, well. There we go. So that's the stride. Launched an emote firework in the channel. Oh, did I? Yes.
It did.
Oh, launched an emote firework. Well, there we go. Excellent. Well, there we go.
It comes up on my screen with fireworks and confetti. Very nice.
Yes. You know what? Right, we'll tell you what we'll do. Sorry. I'm going to jump on board with Baggy. If you jump on board with Baggy and talk him through, I'm going to quickly change a couple of things, and I'm going to work on that email that you sent me.
Oh yes, please do. Yep, so we're on board with Baggy in the Porsche. He's 2 tenths behind THKKI. He's been chasing him down ever since. He's been chasing down this main pack, I'd say. I think top 3, if not a win, Baggy would be extremely happy with the top 3. 5th, 4th, any of those positions, extremely happy as he comes down towards turn 1, looking, teasing THKKR to make the move into turn 1. He's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Is he going to make the move? He is. THKKR is going to want to switch back, but yet he can't do it. No, he can't. And Baggy has made the move. He is moving himself up to 5th position. As of so far, no driver has challenged Baggy after the move, but it seems THKKR fancies challenging Baggy after the move is complete. Ever so slightly, though, Baggy does creep away. Is there damage on the back of that of THKKR, possibly on that Porsche? I'm not too sure. Who is it in front now? No one to bother Baggy, I don't think. I think there's back markers possibly to bother Baggy, yeah, there is. But yeah, Baggy doing what he does best and making a move up into 5th position.
Yeah, so Baggy up into 5th. We have got the layout for you. There was something else I was going to work on. Oh, of course, yes, the settings. The settings. I forgot to do one of the settings. So, let me just see if I can go in here. We're still on board with Baggy. We have some on-track action still. I'm going to jump on board with MSX. He's still chasing down Ace Tuned in the Bentley, and as I predicted, I'm going to take full credit for that. Wilson Big Mike is definitely eating away at that gap they've got there, Bailey.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump on board with Wilson Big Mike now. He hasn't given me a time for him though. Oh, 20 seconds behind MSX. So you're saying he's getting closer, is he?
Yes, he is. He was about 9 seconds behind.
Oh, he's 20 now.
Oh.
Oh, I've got blue screen.
Oh, have you got blue screen? Right, okay, well, I'm back on board, so...
Good. Take it away.
Is not lost. I will go to the creator dashboard and fix that. Affiliate, yes, we'll get that sorted soon. Yeah, so we're on board with MSX 1978. He finds himself in our top 10 position. He is hunting down Ace Tuned, who is hunting down Mad Max Taylor. So we're expecting big battles there. Ian TDI is dropping down the order. He's down to 7th. THKKR down to 6th. Baggy, though, absolute mover and shaking. He has started in 20th place, got himself involved in an incident in lap 5, finds himself back up into 5th row. Chromedix is in 4th. He did find himself further up the field as well, involved in a little incident, and he finds himself down in 4th. Jack, the West Ham fan, one of the new guys in the group. We haven't seen him race here before, or I certainly haven't seen him race here before. Finds himself in a podium position with Speedy, another new name to me certainly, in the Porsche. In 2nd place in TKR Saturn, after 21 laps, is in 1st position. We do have the unfortunate Ben Gallagher. His wheel disconnected while he was racing, so he's in the pits in 19th. Red Flyer is in 18th. We've got M. Roche in the pits, and ERS Militant, our race leader and pole, and was race leader and pole sitter, finds himself in the pits as well. Ray Steve, another new guy, in a Nissan. In 15th place, Vanster Paul is in 14th. Stefan's in 13th. Kamikaze is in 12th. I thought I seen some action there. Wilson Big Mike, as we mentioned, is 11th. So MSX 1978 in the top 10, looking to improve that. If he can get past Ace Tuned, who's looking to improve his 9th place by overtaking Mad Max in 8th. Ian TDI will be looking to steady the ship slightly, see if he can get to the end of the race, putting some of the laps he was putting in last night when I was racing him. We've got THKKR, another Porsche drivers in 6th. Baggy, of course, again, massive mover and shaker from 20th up to 5th. ERS Chromedix in 4th, Jack in 3rd, Speedy in 2nd, and TKR Saturn, in the Bentley up in 1st place. So 21 laps in, and absolutely all go from start to finish. It has been absolutely incredible stuff, and it's certainly not looking like it's easing off any.
No, not at all. And
yeah, that's all set.
I was just going to mention the fact that Baggy is, where is he? He's 5th, and he's creeping in the background, just behind ERS Chromedix. And to be honest with you, if I was ERS Chromedix, I wouldn't be overly happy to see that Indigo Lime Porsche come anywhere near my car, because obviously Comodix had that issue, whatever it was. He was leading the race quite comfortably as well, because all the chaos was happening behind him. He had no problem really, other than probably preparing for some back markers in a few laps. But Baggy is closing the gap 4 seconds now.
Yeah, he certainly is, and as you say, he's absolutely not hanging about. Charging his way through the field at a rate of knots. And like you say, it's Chromodix. You've got to wonder if it's worth his time putting in the battle, although that's not Chromodix that's in front of, that is a back marker.
Yeah, no, the Ferrari's a back marker.
Is that not another post? No, that is a green post in front of.
Oh, it's sorry, my bad. Vans from.
Vans from Paul. Of course it is. He did pit because of damage. Of course he did. Yeah. Yes, a lot of damage. So he's come back at the pits. All the drivers that have gone into the pits have returned onto the track. So whatever issues they have been fixable. Of course, apart from Ben Gallagher, who's now left the server, but his wheel did disconnect. So unfortunately, he was physically unable to take any further part. ERS Militant did qualify in pole.
Oh, was it Militant that was on pole?
Militant that qualified in pole, yeah.
Sugar, my bad.
Yes,
sorry.
It was. No, you're good. I missed what you were saying as well. Give us a look at things on the screen and fancy layouts that you've done. We'll have a look at this. Here is the Kyalami layout. It is 9 corners long, 4.094 kilometres, Johannesburg, in the lovely, amazing country of South Africa. The track does start just before the kink. So between Ngwawe and the kink, that is the start-finish straight. You come round Crowthorns up through Jacasey Sweet, Barbecue and then the Sunset. The top straight unfortunately doesn't have a name, but we'll just call it the straight of fear.
My bad. It's actually called S's.
Oh, of course it is. It's called S's, of course. Then they coop the mine shaft and run the crocodiles to finish off what is an absolutely phenomenal lap, and some of these guys are absolutely throwing these cars around it.
Oh yeah.
In truly fantastic fashion. Baggy, of course, being the main protagonist in that, considering just how many places he's absolutely made up. And we've just had an update from Simon in the chat. Thank you, Simon. Militant is out after losing it through the S's, so he's gone through the S's, completely lost it, done himself some damage, and it looks like he won't be returning to the race. So that's an even worse result than Ben Gallagher had, if we're honest there, Bailey.
Yeah, that's not good.
No,
not good at all.
Qualifying pole.
This track, it's not forgiving, is it? It's been taking drivers left, right, and centre.
It really has been. It is one of those courses, if you hit everything beautifully and nice and smooth, you do great, but if you try and take any liberties, this course will put you in your place very, very, very quickly.
Well, speaking of that, actually, just noticed, I didn't freak out too much, but there was a yellow flag into turn 1. We did a bit of finding. Number 23 was Kamikaze in the Lamborghini, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's flashing his warning lights. He has got a lifted front bonnet, and or is it a trunk on a Lamborghini?
No, trunk is what Americans call the back of the car.
Yeah, but isn't it a front?
Oh, yes, it is. That's right. Yes, because it does have that silly 8-inch by 6-inch plastic compartment to put a sandwich in. So they do class it as a boot, and he has come into the pits to get himself fixed. So he will be finding himself dropping way back down the order. Unfortunately, somebody that won't be dropping back down the order, unless there is some kind of act of God, is of course Baggy. Definitely thinking he did this for a whole lot of camera time. He's certainly getting a whole lot of camera time because he did start in 20th. We are 40 minutes in the race and he finds himself up to 5th. So he will be absolutely destroying those tyres, I would suggest. So you'll probably be looking at pit and tip and change at some point. We're going to jump back on board with MSX 1978 though again. Still within striking distance of Ace Tune, who's now closed the gap right up to Mad Max. So these three guys could well find themselves catapulting in vaulting positions on quite a regular little turnaround here for the next few laps, Bailey.
Yeah, I am extremely shocked at how this track's causing some incidents. I'm not too sure. I haven't actually raced around here with other drivers. Not sure what kind of pressure these drivers are being put under with people behind them and all sorts like that, trying to catch up with each other. But it's not been kind to some of them. But this will be a very interesting track for the sprint series, especially because it's a shorter race, quicker. Definitely no pit stops in this little damage, and I think a lot more moves, a lot more desperate moves, maybe in the sprint series coming towards the end of the period itself. So I am definitely looking forward to watching on Monday.
Yeah, it certainly will be interesting. Like you say, with the points there up for grab and the way the table is sitting, Baggy has found himself at the top of the pile in the sprint series. So there will be a lot of guys gunning to get themselves back up onto these podium positions. Of course, AJ to the P will be looking to make amends for his disconnection problems in the last race. Didn't score any points at all. But it's seen him drop down to 4th in the Pro Series, Bailey. So this course really will test these drivers' concentration and mettle, given the positions that are up for grabs in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what you want in a track, isn't it? One that people can enjoy watching, and then it's got that bit of unexpected moments where it can catch you out. And it is the track. It's not the drivers all the time. It can be the track. So, I mean, drivers can blame the track if they want. I certainly will be if I ever race here.
Right, got you. Well, yeah, I can confirm I did make quite a few mistakes here last night. Like I say, it's very easy to misjudge your entry to a lot of these corners. And if you get the entry wrong, you're either having major problems on the exit or you're losing a lot of time on the exit. And neither of those outcomes are something that's very beneficial if you're trying to get yourself to the end of the race in a decent position.
I think we're going to see a Baggy move around the outside or the inside. I'm not too sure. He hasn't. Oh no.
Yeah, he was probably waiting to hear what you said on stream to do the opposite. Let's face it, he's been doing it all now. As soon as he said he likes to go around the outside,
he's gone down the inside.
Yeah, he's gone down the inside, but he is all over the back of Chromodix. Now, Chromodix is a quick driver, as we say, did find himself at the front, and he does know how to defend. And to him, Baggy is simply another competitor on track, and if he has to defend for as long as possible, he absolutely will. So this could be fun. Baggy! There we go, unexpected little error in judgment there from Baggy. Perhaps the slipstream catching him out, but even with that, he is still within a quarter of a second of Chromodix, so we could see a move into turn 1. Chromodix stays out to the right, doesn't go defensive on the apex, so he's given Baggy the option of taking the apex. Baggy has declined the invitation. He's almost thinking about going side by side. He's going to have a better run up here, given that run he's got into turn 3, coming through turn 2, got a better run. This is turn 3 now, coming along through the S's, which is another really difficult section on here. Chromodix going to have to be absolutely on point with his braking and accelerator. The slightest mistake and Baggy will go full shark mode. Take your fins and off he will pop, no questions asked. And he is certainly, and it was like you, it's exactly as you were saying earlier, Bailey. The patience that Baggy has is phenomenal. He will sit there and wait for either A, an opportunity to appear, or B, for his victim, I was about to say his opponent, his victim, to make a mistake and pounce.
Well, I was just about to say, actually, the question 1 for you is, what's the benefit of him being so close to him? He's been sticking to him very closely, and I think this is the first car Baggy's come across where he hasn't flown past straight away, and it's the driving from both drivers that's stopping him. Baggy's driving at his max, I think, and Chromodix is also doing the same, defending, but not defending extremely. He's just doing what he can do best, which is drive the car around the track. And I was just noticing in that corner where Baggy was known to send it around the outside, but send it down the inside, Chromodix actually came across a little bit and put him off completely. He said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm taking that line," which has kept him behind for 2 laps now. Definitely a battle to keep an eye on.
Yes, it definitely is. And as you were saying at the start of that there, yeah, the benefits to staying behind. Oh, and we've got a back marker that's going to make that difficult. So Baggy did have the run there, but the back marker actually caught him. To be fair, the back marker absolutely got out of the way. So definitely wasn't an intentional, and absolutely no blame could be placed on Wilson Big Mike there for being a red flag for being where he was. The benefit really, Bailey, would be fuel saving. Your tyres won't massive. I mean, it will keep your tyres cool, but it can disrupt the air a bit, so you can lose a little bit of aero. But when you're in the slipstream, you're using a lot less power to cut through the air. So if you stay in the slipstream and the car in front of you is doing the hard work with the air, your car's using less fuel. So for a long distance endurance race, this could absolutely be a decent fuel saving tactic. I don't think it's particularly kind on the tyres being in the slipstream. I know that we've got Stalin and Jixer. Jixer is our resident endurance specialist. So Jix, if you're in the chat, pop the beer down, pick your keyboard up. How is the beer going down, mate? What is it you're drinking tonight? Are you on the IPAs or anything nice? Stalin, what is everybody drinking tonight? It's Saturday night, we're doing the Kyalami SOP. What are you on, Bailey?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, I'm on the cup of tea. I'm literally on the cups of tea. But give us in the chat, jump in, join it. But are affiliated, give us likes, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. We do have, he's just opened his first brew dog. There we go, Jixer, good lad. He does love a brew dog. What have you got tonight, mate? I like the Elvis juice. I know you're not a big fan of that one. But yeah, he does like a bit of Barnard Castle. He did some UFC night, so I have to start there. Of course it is as well. For anybody that doesn't know, I am a massive UFC fan. And I have managed to convert quite a few of my friends. So we do now all sit up late night and PlayStation parties, watching, talking smack to one another, watching the UFC, and giving our armchair professional opinion. So there we go. You'll do nothing. Right, sit down. You'll do nothing. That was the worst Conor McGregor impression ever. I can't do a decent Conor McGregor, but it caught me off guard with Simon typing that in the chat.
I was going to say something I can't say on stream.
Can't say on stream. Can't say. Well, what if I pretend to mute you and say it was an accident? I, of course, would never do that. No. We're still watching Baggy, and you're right. Baggy is giving no more respect to Chromodix in these past few laps than he's given any other driver. He's definitely not making a move, and Chromodix is coming to pit, so there's definitely pit stops involved. So that was a fuel saving exercise by Baggy. PG. No, actually, I'm on Tetley, Simon. I don't like PG tips. Oh, did you? Sal, see what you mean. Jixer, what was saying to tyres, man? What is it? Is it good to be in the slipstream? I'm not 100% sure it is good to be in the slipstream for your tyres, but is that a tyre saving exercise as well as a fuel saving exercise?
Yeah, I don't know how beneficial it is. Yeah, especially in the. Oh, look at the pits! Look at the pit stops.
Yeah. The pits are filling, and as Jixer's just pointed out in the chat, Baggy's going to need 180 litres of fuel.
Okay.
And
I don't think the Porsche can do that.
Yeah, so no, the Porsche only holds 120 litres.
Yeah,
so that's what we're saying. Baggy's definitely going to need to pit. So it definitely fuel saving. Jixer's confirmed. I'm absolutely bang on the money.
Fantastic.
We're not sure about the tyres, but that will save him a fair bit of fuel. So, and there has been chat saying he's doing a 90 and then a 70 stint. So he will be, if that is correct, then he'll be looking to pit soon, because we have just hit the halfway mark. We do have 17 drivers left on track in 17th place. I beg your pardon, John, put your teeth in the right way around. It's easy seeing I was at the dentist yesterday. Go to the dentist, kids. There we go. So M. Ross, there we go, public service now. This public service album is brought to you by an insane commentator. So we've got M. Ross in the Ferrari in 17th, we've got Red Flyer in the Bentley in 16th, Kamikaze, Kamzar Cheki. We've got Kamza in the Lamborghini in 15th. We've got Ray Steve is is in 14th. Vanster Paul, who was at the business end, found himself in a couple of incidents, had to get some damage repaired, and is down in 13th. Stefan, one of our pros, is in 12th. Absolutely one of the regulars as well. We've got Ace Tune, another guy you will very, very rarely find doing anything else than racing around on ACC. He's a dedicated driver. He's in 11th in the Bentley. So MSX did eventually get the move done while we were watching Baggy decimate the rest of the field. Mad Max Taylor is still in 9th, and he's got himself a bit of a gap again to MSX. So that battle with Ace Tune obviously took it out with those two. Ian TDI, one of our leading Porsches, is in 8th place. THKKR in another Porsche in 7th with Big Wilson Mike. I did mention him earlier. I did say he would come back into it, and right, just as I needed him to, Big Wilson Mike is back up to 6th place. Chromedix is in 5th. Speedy, who has pitted, is in 4th. Baggy's in 3rd. Jack West Ham is in 2nd, and TKR Saturn is in 1st place as he comes into the pit. So there we go, Jack West Ham, one of our new drivers, and finds himself in the lead. Bailey,
did you see that, John? We had a follow-up.
I did. It was RRL League 13 who says, go on Jack, give it large. There we go, love to see it. So one of Jack's fans is actually in the chat, so there we go, mate. Your boy is doing well. It's the first time I've personally seen him here. I've been commentating a couple of weeks now. I've never seen his name come up before.
Yeah, sorry, John.
No.
So Baggy's pitted. Baggy has pitted, and I just quickly jumped onto his stream, just a bit of a catch-up to see what he was doing, and I jumped on at a perfect time. I think he was behind Steven, was he? Yeah, VH. And he was getting some awful understeer, not complaining, but sorry, he was just talking about how the car was handling behind him, and I think the pit call was pretty imminent, like you said. Just down to how many spaces he's going to lose. Speedy, 45 seconds behind, is that correct?
Yeah, you'll need to give the timing board at least a lap to update, Bailey. That's always
well, he's going to get out in front of Chromedix, possibly. This could be interesting.
Yeah, this really could be interesting. So Chromedix is coming along the start-finish straight, and he has got himself out, so he has absolutely used the pit stops to his advantage. So now can Chromedix return the favour? That is the question, because Chromedix is still going, so he's going to need to put less fuel in when he pits. So he's going to be in the pit for less time. So this certainly could be interesting, as we'll jump on board with Jack. We're 32 laps deep into this race. We are well over the halfway mark now, and Jack has decided to stay out for another lap. So again, he could be another one that's running on a full tank, and if I'm not mistaken, a full tank in a Bentley is something like 130 litres. So he will have a few more, 120 litres, something along that range. So he will have a few more laps to go, especially with this being the circuit that it is. The Bentley does okay on fuel round here, so he could easily be out for a little bit more and look to try and stretch that lead and jump himself some places. And I've just been blue screened.
No.
So Bailey is going to run you through the laps as I show you a picture of the Bailey.
I'll ask you a question so you can stay in with us in the stream.
Go for it.
Baggy's saying on stream that he's going to have to be careful because he's going to have a bit more front end. What does this mean?
He's going to have to be careful because he's got a bit more front end.
Yeah, as he came out of the pits, he said, "I got to be careful here. I'm going to have a bit more front end, twitchy front end." Actually, he might have used. I'm not too sure. But
it could be because he's changed tyres, or it could be because he's put that much fuel in. It's changed the balance of the car.
Okay.
Because 60 litres of fuel will make a difference to the weight of the car that you're driving. He also might, like I say, he might have changed his brake balance a bit.
Yeah.
Just to try and save tyres. Again, that might have. Although, if you're putting in 60 litres of fuel, you could change tyres at the same time, and it wouldn't lengthen your pit stop any. So it could just be he's got fresh tyres as well. Again, we all know, or I certainly know, that outlap tyres are not what you want to be on when you're in a race. I can assure you. You want to get them warmed up as quickly as possible. As I am... Why are you not working now? Oh yes, because it's remote play.
So, just going to talk you guys through what I'm seeing on screen. I am currently sitting on board with Ace Tuned in his green Bentley. Very nice. And behind him is a green Ferrari of Mad Max Taylor, and behind him is an Audi Stephen VH. So this is another three-way battle. We've had plenty of three-way battles today, haven't we? So
We really have.
this is very exciting, I must say. So first of all, I think it will be clear to see that the Audi of Stephen is quite fast around some of these corners, and he's going down the inside. No, he's missed out. That wasn't an opportunity. That's not the corner you need to do it. Luckily, they haven't made contact. A bit of a bold move, I think, from the Audi driver. I'm not too sure that the Ferrari driver didn't seen his car go out the inside then.
Completely from the blind spot. Well, yeah, we are back on board with Stefan, to give him his proper pronunciation. So Stefan, yep. So yeah, Stefan's in 12th, and you're right. Him, Mad Max, and Ace Tune. So Ace Tune really hasn't had an easy night tonight. There has constantly been cars.
Ace Tune is off.
Ace Tune's gone off. Oh, of course, the commentator.
Yeah.
We did a race the other night, Bale. Every time I jumped to someone, they crashed. I genuinely thought I just went backing out the race, and I'm ruining people's seasons here. What's going on? But yeah, so Ace Tune definitely not having the easiest tonight. Makes himself a mistake. He's found himself defending for most of the race with cars lurking behind him. Makes himself a little mistake there. So Mad Max certainly won't be sorry to see that little mistake in the background, because he has been overtaken by MSX 1978, who is now up to 8th and 9th, and will be looking to catch Ian TDI. And I tell you, he might quite fancy it, even though he's in the Nissan and he's up against the Porsche. As we can see, the only Porsche that's outside the top 10, Bale. In fact, the only Porsche outside the top 8 was Vance Paul, who was in the top 3 until he was involved in a massive incident and had to get himself some repair. So the Porsche definitely a forerunner at this track, and absolutely these drivers putting it to excellent use.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll jump back on board with Jack. Actually, he is our race leader. He is in a Bentley, but I mean, we're seeing the Porsches are performing well. We certainly can't overlook the Bentley at this point. So Jack's coming in for lap 35. That Bentley will have enough of a fuel tank to let him do, I think, 2 more laps.
Right.
He's certainly going to be getting close, because that is an hour he's been on track now.
Yeah.
So maybe another 2 or 3 laps. This is quite a short lap. He decides against the pit stop on this lap, so he is staying out and enjoying the lead of the race.
He's very far ahead now to TKR Saturn.
Yeah, really. Well, TKR Saturn's just coming down crocodiles now, whereas Jack is comfortably turning himself into the braking zone. There we go. For turn 1, absolutely nails that line. Oh, he's gone a little bit. I suppose the Bentley, sorry, that corner is different for most cars, given the width of it. I found 2 or 3 lines, and we're getting a new. Who's in?
Me. It was MSX. Coming around the first corner. I'm not too sure if that's just a Nissan GTR thing, but I thought it was going to spin. The way his back end swung out, I'm not too sure. I doubt that's a. Saying that though, it does lean a lot into these corners. I don't know whether that back end is loose though. So it did definitely kick out into the first corner. Just got my heart rate rate, I think.
It certainly will do that. We have had a notification. TSR Jimmy, how we doing, big man? Welcome to SOP Motorsports Twitch channel, bud. Thank you for the follow. We really appreciate that. We got affiliated last night. We will be getting subscriber badges, emotes, all that type of fun, interactive stuff to you guys in a matter of days. We're also looking to improve the video quality. We will be improving the sound quality. Everything will be improving to such an extent you're going to be absolutely blown away. I kid you not. And I have not let any of you down yet. When I promise you great racing, you get great racing. When I promise you awesome content, you better be believing you're in the right place, Bailey.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. So I've just read some chat on Discord.
Oh,
No more
excellent.
Baggy, John. No more Baggy. Don't show Baggy.
Don't show Baggy anymore.
We'll leave him for a bit.
Leave him for a bit. Yeah,
When
I
he
think
gets
so.
to about a second, that's when we'll revisit Baggy in his Porsche.
Yeah. To be fair, there is a lot more going on. I'm more interested to see if Ace Tuned can get back on the back of Stefan. He is putting in the shift. If he can gather himself, the Bentley will run. I can't remember if Ace is pitted or not because there wasn't a mandatory pit stop marker. I think we should make that a thing. I think we should definitely have mandatory pit stops because the will need to fuel for a 100-minute race. It was right. You can't do 100 minutes on one fuel tank. Yeah, you need about 100, 160, 170, 180 litres to do it. And the tanks on these, some of them, they range from 110 to about 130 litres. So definitely, even with the fuel saving that Baggy did. And there we go. Baggy must have been listening to the stream. He was 3 seconds. As soon as we said you've got camera time at 1 second, he's now 1.6 seconds off his next victim. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
Just an absolute next level show from the man. Baggy. There we go. Another 4/10 is taking out the speed.
Stop it. Right, so yeah, let's talk about the Bentley. So we know the Bentley is a fairly stable car, and it seems this track's throwing everything. I've said this multiple times since the stream. This track is throwing absolutely everything at these drivers. It's such a awkward track, I think, as well. The corners are so un-track-like.
There's extreme undulation.
Yes,
going in and out of a lot of the braking and turning zones.
Exactly, yes.
Certainly when we are talking about the third sector of the track, the crocodiles.
Yes.
Yeah, that is just, I mean, the coup obviously at the top of the hill, the coup when you get to the top of the hill, you're braking blind, you're then turning downhill into a fast, flat out left-hander which can easily lift the back end of the car if you don't have it absolutely bang on. And as you're going into crocodiles, that ridiculous right-hander, and it is ridiculous, these cars don't like to brake unless you're in a straight line, and you don't brake in a straight line going into crocodile. We'll stay on board with Ace Tune because he's coming into that section now. He's got an Audi in front of him, so we're going to see exactly what we're talking about. Come up the hill, you brake here. This is crocodile that they're turning left down here. Now as soon as you get the car round, you really need to get the foot down. Look at the toe down. You notice how wide Ace Tuned went there as opposed to the Audi. You really need to get that line. As you come down here, the corner sweeps left and moves right ever so slightly at the 100 and then starts moving right more at the 50, and then you actually start turning right to take the corner as Jack, race leader, has come into the pits. And I'll tell you what, these guys are close. So TKR Saturn, so they're a lap down. So TKR Saturn has just come down the crocodile, so he's coming into the last section. Jack is still rolling up to his pit box. This is going to be close. We've got a car off track. That was a back marker. Speedy has fallen victim to Baggy, who is up to third place. TKR Saturn is in second. Jack has found himself still stationary in the pits. Saturn has come round the last corner, and Jack is back on his wheels. He's coming out the pits, so Saturn has taken the lead, but Jack has put himself in a wonderful shift, and he has massively closed the gap that Saturn had to him. I mean, when Saturn came in the pits, Jack was 3-4 seconds behind. He's now, I would guess, to be about 2 seconds behind, so he's done himself a massive favour staying out. He spent less time in the pits, and he will have the same weight of car. The two of them will obviously have enough fuel to get to the end of the race, so this is going to be, we'll get these timing boards update barely, this is going to be a grandstand finish from these guys in the top three when you consider that Jack Baggy is hunting them down.
Well, a quick fact check.
Yes, fact check, 5 seconds.
For you about Baggy, he didn't actually get past Speedy. Speedy let him pass, and Baggy did say on his stream he was a bit confused as why he's let you pass, which was it wasn't.
You know what? He maybe let him pass. Well, he maybe just doesn't need the pressure.
Race. Yeah, that's true.
He maybe just doesn't need the pressure. You know what I mean? I mean,
No.
myself personally, if I find the driver that's out of position,
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm in a racing
Oh
bag,
yeah.
he's coming up behind
That's what.
me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not putting, but especially because if you look at the position Speedy's in, Speedy's still in 4th place. That's not a bad finish. You know what I mean?
No,
I would take a 4th place any day of the week and twice
absolutely.
on a Sunday. As we're on board again with Chromadix, he is looking to rekindle his on-track battles with MSX. So we've got Audi on Nissan with Mad Max Taylor. And the chat's pointed out, yes, so Ray Steve's got himself a drive-through penalty.
Yeah.
So Ray Steve in 15th, he's got a drive-through in the Nissan, so he'll have 3 laps to serve that. And the race will definitely not be over in 3 laps time, so he will have to serve that pretty shortly and probably find himself in the grass. Oh, Mad Max Taylor catches a bit of dirt in the background with Chromadix there. Chromadix is still half a second off the back of MSX. So he'll be looking to get that done. Ace Tuned is still just sitting half a second off the back of Stefan as well. So it really is an hour and 10 minutes in, Bailey, and it's still absolutely all to play for with these top 10 positions.
Yeah, and even better, we're going to see a battle that I always love to see, and that's MSX versus ERS Chromadix. And Chromadix is gaining quite nicely on the pink Nissan. I think we're going to see a developing battle that's gonna cause us to go a bit crazy.
There will be shrieks of delight.
Oh yeah.
As these two get on track. At the moment, as we see, he is closing the gap, Chromadix, and again, there he goes, he's just taking another 3/10. So he's 7/10 off MSX. We've got Ace Tuned, who's only 6/10 off the back of Stefan, so they're absolutely... Ray Steve cleared his drive-through, comes back out in 15th.
Holy moly, sorry.
What,
did you see that?
No,
Chromadix
no.
nearly flipped his car.
Oh, wow. He's lost the back.
Hit a curve and he flew. I don't think I've ever seen a car do that before. Yeah,
right, yeah, that'll be the sausage at that turn 3. That thing almost killed me last night.
Turn 3.
Yeah, turn 3. Don't even need to see it.
Will that cause damage to the car? Because he seems to be struggling.
It might do. If he's hit that front all and caught a part of his front splitter, his front bumper, or done some damage to the rear of the car, as it's some of the rear aero as it's dragged over, then yeah, he could. But I tell you, he's got his foot right back in it here. He is definitely
he's not being phased by it
not up here by. He's getting stuck right back into Mad Max as they come up the crocodile. Coming down the hill, both guys get a fantastic line doing it. They want to stay out to the right here. You really need to throw it in, get your foot down, keep your foot down. It's such an awkward braking zone into this corner. It's an amazing feeling getting this corner right, but it's not one I've had very often, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, very easy to overshoot. I can tell you from experience.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, like I say last night after...
Down the inside.
Down the inside. Mad Max responds round the outside. So Mad Max is going to get more drive here. So he's going to be straight in the slipstream. He's going to be looking to make a move back into turn 1 as we see the Audi and the Bentley in the background. Also eyeing up a gap closing manoeuvre here. They're coming in the braking zone just before the 100 board. Let's see who takes the apex, and they're both taking that. In fact, all 4 cars have taken that pretty sweetly as they come up. Chromadix will be looking to avoid the chaos here. His back tyres did slide a bit, so he maybe is losing a bit of rear aero, Bailey. Bailey, you may well have called that one absolutely spot on, kid. And he looks like he could... Oh, a bit bouncy coming round there as well. So yeah, Bailey, I think you're spot on, mate. I think he's absolutely done some kind of damage.
Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past the Ferrari now to go, hold on, I'll take that back fairly shortly, but he's flying away quite nicely actually.
Yeah, he is pulling away. Chromadix says on, the Ferrari's gone off, so Mad Max, and he's come right back into the middle of this battle between Stefan and Ace Tuned. One can only be grateful to the racing gods for the outcomes of some of these incidents here. We do have ourselves another 3-way battle as these cars are settling in. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and these guys absolutely still not letting up and still chasing all the way to the end.
Who's that? Mad? No, Ace Tunes going off really wide in that corner that we were talking about, saying that it's hard to get right.
Yes, it really is a difficult one. So Ace Tuned, he's going to drop off the back. So we've now got Mad Max battling with Stefan. So
yes.
Really do struggle to keep up sometimes. Mad Max takes a slightly different line. So see Chromedic's having a wiggle coming out with turn 2. Was he getting blue flagged? Was he?
No, he can't. Who's that in front of him? There's number 78, is it? No, who's that?
MSX.
Oh, hold on. Oh, it can't have been.
I'm not entirely sure. In fact, it might be because... Oh no, okay, so we're going to find out the official timings in a second. It says that Wilson Big Mike is not quite on the lead lap with the lead guys. We've got TKR Saturn in the Bentley. He is still absolutely up the front. The Bentley's come strong and pull out a massive lead. Yep. The Bentleys are doing well. Jack has done absolutely fantastically. He finds himself 11 seconds on the lead, so Saturn is pulling away from him a bit, and unfortunately Baggy, unfortunately for Jack, not unfortunately for us, but Baggy is reeling him in ever so slightly. 26 minutes to go. Unfortunately, you've got to maybe fancy Baggy's chances of catching up and getting the job done. Back on board Max, we've got Ace Tune, who's still in the vicinity. We've got Stefan, who is still in the vicinity. In fact, I'm saying that Stefan has seen fit to come into the pits, so he's going to drop out of position and hand spots back to Max Tune. Vanster Paul's going to come through. Kamser Taxi is actually, no, he's at the other side of the lap, so he is a bit far down, so he can't take advantage of that. But certainly, all the way down to Vanster Paul have moved themselves up a position, and yeah, so that's definitely going to bring Stefan out in an interesting spot, and it completely changes the balance of this battle in the middle of the pitches. Chromedix is trying his hardest to track down MSX 1978, so Mad Max Taylor, Ace Tuned in the background. Both have made slight mistakes, both have gone off. And speaking of mistakes, we've got a refer. Whoa, I actually clenched there. I actually clenched there. That was Chromedix. Chromedix made a massive mistake coming through turn 3, found his car sideways, and I genuinely did get a fright because it looked like his car was about to roll into the path of his oncoming competitors. He did manage to avoid them though, but that is going to massively drop him down the order. Vanster Paul, yes, he's right on the background. So Vanster Paul and Stefan have suddenly found themselves an inroad to get themselves back close to the top 10. Another three-way train developing, Bailey. These guys really are keeping us on our toes tonight.
He's trying to make the move down the inside.
Another who's making a move where? Oh, there we go, Chromedix.
Yeah.
So there we go, Chromedix has gone round the course of Vanster Paul. Absolutely wonderful move, and I'll tell you, that is Ace Tuned in the Bentley in the background. So he finds himself, I think it is.
No,
it's not. It's a back marker, so I was about to say that would be an absolutely phenomenal move.
Oh, the back marker's unlapping it himself.
He is unlapping himself, so
crazy.
I'm really confused.
Is that a red flag? No. Wait, hold on. That's not TKR Saturn, is it? It is.
So that's the race leader.
Oh, and Baggy's down the inside. Baggy's just made the move into turn 1 on Jack. Baggy has absolutely sent it down the inside.
It is. The chat's confirmed it was Saturn doing the lap in there. That is another move by Baggy. Yeah, and as Simon's pointed out in the chat, really is unfortunate scenes for the Audi drivers. They qualified well today, but they have dropped massively down the order. But Baggy, I tell you what.
Different.
Is it the impossible dream? We've got 22 minutes left. He's got 13.8 seconds to make up. Can he make it to first place. Yes or no, Bailey? Throw your hat in the ring. Make a decision. Will Baggy win this race?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so. It's possible. It's possible. I wouldn't throw anything past Baggy not to be impossible. Yeah, he'll be happy. I think where he is. Incredible pace he's shown. Absolutely incredible pace. 13 seconds, 22 minutes, plus 1 lap. Am I right?
1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute 40 a lap.
Yeah,
So,
but do you get an extra lap after the?
Well, yeah, it depends
countdown?
when you cross the. Depends when you cross the
Right,
line. Yes.
Yeah.
It depends when you cross the line. So.
Do you know what? Baggy's much closer than I actually thought. When you look at the map.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look. So Baggy's there. Baggy's in turn 1. Oh, he's just made a little mistake there. I think his tyres are giving up.
He's trying to get past the back marker. That wasn't being too kind to him.
Right, okay. Oh no, that's Jack White again.
Where?
Jack White's in 3rd.
Yeah. Baggy overtook him in 3rd.
Yeah, he did. There was another similar coloured Bentley there as well. So Baggy is...
Yes.
He is closing them down at a phenomenal rate. We've got Chromedix and the guys who have yet, as Jixer was pointed out. So yeah, and Jixer's also pointed out, best chart mechanic we've got, race on field. So there is 13 to 14 laps left, Jixer has calculated, based on time, lap times. And so he needs to close by 1 second a lap. But yeah, no, you're right, Simon. Definitely can't underestimate Saturn out in the lead. He was out in the lead and he did absolutely extend that lead, but he's 12.7 seconds ahead of Baggy. So with 13 laps to go, that he needs to catch up, as we were saying, about 2nd a lap. So
well, Baggy on his stream, just a little peek again. He's just giving himself some motivational pep talk, and he just said, "Come on, Baggy." He's I think he wants to win this, John. I think he really does think, you know, this will be something good if he can pull it off. And I am very excited for the next few laps just to see that time come down. TKR Saturn won't let him get past easy.
no, well, that's what Simon's just saying in the chat. Yeah, catching him is one thing.
Yeah,
to overtake him, though, that's
touche, absolutely.
An entirely different kettle of fish, because these guys are definitely pro-level drivers. So Speedy is still up in 4th. He's actually closed right up on Jack, so this could be a battle worth watching here. We've got the Porsche Speedy in 4th place. We've got the Bentley and Jack, our one-time race leader, found himself in 2nd when he came to the pits. Baggy unceremoniously hunted him down, and now he has the Porsche of Speedy all up in his rear view mirrors here, Bailey. So the podium positions are by no means decided with 20 minutes to go.
I'll be gutted for Jack if he doesn't get that 3rd position.
I'm going to be honest, yeah, I know commentators should really take sides, but yeah, I really do want to see Jack get himself
great
on the
support
podium.
from him in the chat as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah, if you're still in the chat, say hi in the chat, by the way. This is SOP Motorsport. You can find us on Discord if you want to race. You can find us on Facebook if you want to join in. Tell us what we're doing well, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us how you think we can improve. We're open to everything. This is, of course, our Twitch channel. We are on our Twitch channel. We do have a YouTube channel as well. That is, of course, SOP Motorsport. And we're on Twitter. The quickest and fastest way to get all of the updates of what is going on in the SOP universe. We've got 4 PS4 servers and a PC server, and we race on ACC. We do sometimes do some fun streams on here as well. We'll get you guys involved. There is a camera watches my poor face as I try and struggle around the track. Simon comes on to race. We do some Wreckfest as well, so it's all singing, all dancing, all interactive. And this is, of course, the 100-minute Kyalami race, which we are well over an hour into. 18 minutes left. There has been more lead changes than I changed my socks in a week. And we find Saturn up in the lead with Baggy closing them down. Jack is in 3rd place with an absolute battle on his hand. with Speedy in 4th, and we have a car in the background, but I believe that is a back marker out of position, so they will not be joining in the fun. I was kind of hoping it was Wilson Big Mike. I did mention Wilson Big Mike earlier. Bailey, I'm very proud of the fact that he has done me well, and he's got himself back up to 5th place, so that's a really, really, really good drive there from Wilson. As we watch these guys come down from Crocodile, oh sorry, coming down towards Crocodile from Lake Coupe. This is a really, really awkward corner, really easy to lose a lot of pace, really easy to lose the car, really easy to breach track limits. That sausage there, oh, you do not want to be catching any of that, especially in a Porsche. But Speedy has found that that has worked out okay for him, because he is now absolutely got a battle on his hands, and Jack has made his move early, so he's trying to break the slipstream, finds himself going back over to the right. He's hanging on out there, and the Porsche is absolutely on his back bumper. So these two guys looking at a ding-dong battle. Just looking up the time as well, Baggy is down to 10.4 seconds from the lead. Bailey is supporting as Mike has died. Ah, Bailey. If you've run out of battery on your headset during the broadcast, Bailey, pretty sure that's some kind of fine. Come on now. It's like your mobile phone ringing. So there we go. It looks like you guys are stuck with me. We've got 15 minutes left, so it's plenty of time for Bailey to charge his headset. This is SOP Motorsport. We are watching 100 minutes of Kyalami. We are now an affiliated channel. Thank you all who have been popping in, saying hi in the chat. If you're here in the chat, give us a hello. Give us a yes or no. Here's the question. Will Baggy win the race? Okay? Will he win the race? He is 10.1 seconds, so he's taken another 3/10 in the last half a lap, and he will be looking to catch, there we go, 9.7 seconds, so he is catching them. But like Simon was saying in the chat, it is one thing to catch Saturn, it will be an entirely different proposition overtaking him. And speaking of difficult proposition overtaking him, we're watching Jack West Ham here. I'm assuming he's a West Ham fan. We've called him Jack West Ham for the stream, and again, turn 1, he finds himself trying to shake the slipstream. He is definitely staying on the inside this time. He is making his opponent go round the outside. The two of them do indeed go side by side round turn 1, and I tell you what, I think the Porsche has made that stick, and that is a phenomenal move from Speedy to get that done, and that is an immense drive from both drivers there into turn 1, side by side, to come out there and up the hill into turn 2 and 3 like that. Just absolute masterful car control from both of these guys. Jack finding himself down in 4th, and Speedy is in 3rd place here, but I can absolutely tell you Jack will not be giving up in that Bentley. But as Simon was pointing out as well, Bentley, Porsche, it's now Bentley, Porsche, Bentley, Porsche. So it's definitely easy to see which car is the most favoured around this track. As the Bentley pulls in beautifully to the Coupe, the Porsche pulls in beautifully to the Coupe. So does Jack in the Bentley. We do have that back marker behind him, who is showing some pretty good pace there in that out. Is that Stefan? Can we figure out who that is? Who is that? It's lapping. Is it a Bentley with a number? Oh, it's Razor Steve. So it's Ray Steve in the Nissan. So there you go, Ray Steve showing a nice turn of pace there. I'm sure he was involved in incidents earlier. Sorry, excuse me, 2 seconds. Get myself a little drink of juice there, a cup of tea, keep myself going. We'll jump back on. Baggy now down to 8.3 seconds. So DKR Saturn find themselves in about this battle between Mad Max and Ace Tune. They'll be hoping these guys let them through as quickly as possible. Let's flash these lights there, so we do really need these guys to jump out the way, let our race leader through. He does have an epic battle on his hands. Not the most ideal situation for any of the drivers involved. They're obviously the two guys battling for position, not keen to give any time to their opponents, but certainly you need to let someone that is in the race lead through. Baggy down to 8 seconds with 12 minutes to go. Speedy, of course, finding himself up in 3rd place after just making a successful move on Jack, who was our one-time race leader. He's put in an absolutely stellar performance this evening. Got himself up into 4th. THKKR is in 5th with Ian TDI in 6th. Wilson Big Mike has got himself up to 7th after his pit stop. MSX is in 8th with Mad Max in 9th, and Ace tuned all over the back of him, rounding up the top 10 for tonight's events. But Chromedix has been involved in the thick of action again, had Baggy on his rear for quite a few laps, and now finds Baggy on his rear again, looking to lap him this time, unfortunately. Vansto Paul in 12th, Stefan in 13th, Kamzar Zeki is in 14th, our only Lamborghini driver. Ray Steve showed some great pace in 15th with Embrosh in a Ferrari, and Red Flyer in his beautiful purple Bentley making up 17th. We have had a couple of disconnections. We also had Ben Gallagher, who was up at the front end of the field, found himself the victim to a broken wheel. His wheel disconnected, took him off track, and unfortunately was unable to rejoin. Definitely has been a monstrously exciting race so far, with positions changing hands left, right and centre. And we've had position changes, as we'll see. Baggy, there we go, unlapping himself. So how was Saturn getting on? Saturn did have a bit of clear track. He is the race leader, but he is now coming up to a group of 4 or 5 cars that are themselves fighting for position. But they really do need to yield within 2 corners of seeing the blue flags as per the ACC rules. I'm sure that's also the rules at SOP, of course. And that is obviously just to maintain clarity and parity at the top of the field for guys that are showing the type of pace and race that Saturn is showing. Baggy's now got that down to 7.5 seconds, and it would certainly be cruel if Saturn was robbed of a race victory because he was held up by some of the back markers. And these guys are, like I say, they are fighting for position, but you still need to respect the race lead. So hopefully he can get past these guys very quickly, as we see a bit of Porsche on Porsche action there. Who was that? So there we go, yeah, Ian TDI, sorry, not Porsche on Porsche, it's MSX 1978, so we have jumped on board just in time. He's got the move done on Ian TDI, so Ian's going to find himself back down in 7th, and there goes Ian round, tries to go round that side, but takes that way too wide, and I'll tell you what, he could well have given Wilson Big Mike all the impetus he needs to get back involved. Although if I'm right, that's actually not Wilson Big Mike, that is actually, yeah, that is Mike. Our race leader has got past Mike. He is now getting past Ian TDI. He's trying to steal a bit of slipstream from Ian. Ian says, no thanks, I can blue flag it, but I'm not going to help you. So Saturn will make the move and get that done. He's then going to have to get past MSX. So these guys really are still battling away valiantly for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. As we see, Baggy is now making his way through those back markers as well. So Baggy's only 6.5 seconds off. Has barely charged his headset yet. We do have 8 minutes to go, so 5 laps left. Red Flyer in 17th, Emrosh 16th, Ray's Steve is in 15th, Kamzar Cheki is in 14th with Stefan in 13th, Mad Max Taylor's 12th, Vanster Paul in 11th, Chromedix finds himself down in 10 after an up and down roller coaster race. Ace Tuned is in 9th, but looking to hold off ERS Chromodix. Wilson Big Mike's up in 8th after a Sterling drive. Ian TDI is in 7th and looking to hold on to that as Wilson Big Mike is looking to take it from him. MSX 1978 still very much defending from Ian TDI and attacking the drivers in front. THKKR, sorry, he does have a bit of a gap. That was a different post there, getting too excited for my own good here. We've got Jack, the West Ham fan, in 4th place, looking to hold off THKKR. He should have enough to get that done as we see, a little race Steve going off in the background. Speedy got the move done on the Porsche, finds himself in 3rd. Baggy, the big mover in the race, started in 20th, was involved in a lap 5 incident, which saw him facing the wrong way as 3 or 4 cars drove past. He's got the head down. He's employed a fairly decent pit strategy, pits just after halfway in the race, and he finds himself up in 2nd place, working his way through back markers and hunting down TKR Saturn, who himself is still battling through the back markers as well. So it really has got nice and close and congested for spectating purposes as he goes up the inside nice and cleanly. He'll now need to get himself past M. Ross in the Ferrari as Baggy coming round the same complex, looking very much like he could close the gap to very, very, very close indeed before this race ends. So there's the blue flag, and Baggy goes up round the outside, takes Liku, as we see TKR Saturn at the bottom of Liku coming into the alligator before the last rally turn. So this definitely is setting up for a grandstand finish. Not only that, we've got ERS Chromodix, who's still fighting to improve his place in the top 10 and looking to make another move on Ace Tuned. Ace Tuned, as we said, had one of the most difficult races of anyone that's actually survived the whole race. He has been involved in constant battles defending. He's also made himself a couple of mistakes and ran off, and he now finds himself fighting valiantly to stay inside the top 10 in that single digit 9th position. But ERX Chromodix, as we've seen, he was at the thick end of the battles early on. He is a very, very quick driver, and this track certainly lends itself to turn 1 overtakes with the slipstream. Doesn't quite do enough to get Chromodix to within range to make a move, but it does certainly keep him within range. We have a new follower, Baratan, thank you very much for the follow, bud. We appreciate that. Welcome to SOP Motorsport. We are an ACC driven community. We do racing on PS4 and PC. This is of course a PS4 race that we are watching, and what a race it has been. We've got another follower, Hristo Chekhov. If it said Hristo Stoichkov, it would have been okay. He was of course a footballer. Hristozev. Check. I apologise for brutalising your name there, my friend. I will practice that. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't have the follower count here. Simon, you're in the chat, buddy. Give me a follower count, please, mate. I don't have that up on my screen at the moment. But I should certainly have information as to where. But thank you for tuning in on this Saturday night. This is, as I said, SOP Motorsport. You can follow us on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook. And we're also on Discord, so if actually getting involved in racing is your thing, give us a shout on Discord, SOP Motorsport. As I say, we've got 4 PS4 servers, we have a PC server as well, we have leagues, we have endurance races, and we even have commentators that pretend to know what they're talking about, or at least sound like they know what they're talking about as well. As we see a Porsche going off track to let the blue flags through there. Or was that Ian TDI making a mistake? I think that was. So Ian's made a mistake and he's found himself dropping 2 places. So Chromodix applying the pressure to Ace. Ace holding up, and Ian's made himself a mistake. So he is going to find himself down in 10th. ERX Chromodix is back up to 9th, and Ace Tuned is in 8th place. Baggy is 3.6 seconds off the lead of the race with 2 minutes to go. So I think it's going to be an unbelievably massive ask for Baggy to get back up. But he did start in 20th place at the start of the race, and he's made his way through the field quite magnificently and finds himself within about 3 seconds of the lead. So that really is a phenomenal performance. And I think one of the other problems he's had as well, there has been a lot of traffic. This course can get very condensed. As you can see, if I bring up the map centre screen, you can see all those little dots. That is our drivers. That is how close these guys still are after an hour and 38 minutes of driving, including pit stops. So as TKR Saturn comes over the line for the penultimate time, I would guess we do see Baggy lurking in the background, 2.8 seconds off the lead. Can he close that gap? We've got Red Flyer in 17th, we've got Emrosh in 16th, we've got Ray Steve in 15th, we've got Kamzer Cheke in 14th, we've got Stefan in 13th with Mad Max Taylor in 12th, we've got Van Sterpol in 11th, Ian TDI in the Porsche is in 10th place with Ace Tuned in 9th, which means Chromedix has made the move. So Chromedix absolutely all go. And he really is putting the sword to his fellow competitors, and he will fancy a move on Big Wilson Mike as well, I can tell you that. We've got MSX 1978, who isn't much further down the road as well. So he could be vulnerable here. THKKR got himself a nice, he does have a nice bit of space. With Speedy up into 4th. We've got Jack, who's back up to 3rd. So again, another move has been made. I hope Jack's fans are in the chat still. Your man has made it back up to the podium. So we're not sure what happened there as it was running through the field. We do have Baggy in 2nd, and we do have TKR Saturn in 1st place. The timer says 41 seconds. It's going to say about 20 seconds. In fact, no, 20 odd seconds when he crosses the line. So I think this could be the start of the last lap. So with 1 lap to go, Baggy is 1.8 seconds off the lead of TKR Saturn, who's led for the vast majority of this race after incidents abound in the early doors of the race. Chromedix, I did say he would fancy getting a move on a Big Wilson Mike, and he is 3/10 off the back of the bumper of that Bentley, and woo, that's slightly, yeah, okay, he's caught himself out there, the Bentley. He's tried too hard to defend, and that's absolutely just cost him a position there, I'm afraid. So ERS Chromedix getting himself back up to 7th. We're going to jump on Baggy. He's had a ridiculous amount of camera time. He has put in an awful lot of overtakes. He's 1.4 seconds up. I'm honestly doubting he's going to get this done. He does need to close the gap, and then he does need to put on an overtake. And this is TKR Saturn that's in the race to the lead. So for once, we are going to watch the leaders cross the finish line. We do always watch the on-screen battles, and this is certainly one that we thought may have happened a lap or two earlier, but TKR Saturn has kept the foot down, absolutely kept it clean, and got himself to the end of this race. He is leading, coming down into the Crocodiles. Needs to absolutely just keep this as perfect as he has. There's the yellow flags everywhere. There's a car on the side of the road. It is a Porsche. It has similar colour to a couple of drivers. But here we go, TKR Saturn comes down to penultimate corner, does not hit the sauce edge, gets just enough of the curb. Can he get the turning right? And this is unbelievable how close a finish we have had. They're 1 hour and 40 minutes of racing. TKR Saturn is going across the line with Baggy 4/10 of a second behind him. That is unbelievable. Jack West Ham, phenomenal drive from Jack. Found himself in the lead during the pit stops. Got overtaken by Speedy, lost his podium position, kept his head down in the Bentley. He finds himself coming in the Crocodiles for the last time in 3rd place and going to take himself a podium in his inaugural race with the SOP Endurance community. So an unbelievably fantastic drive from Jack. Speedy in the Porsche, looking like he's carrying a bit of damage, so I'm assuming he pranked his car as Jack got the overtake done, but he will come home in 4th place. THKKR in the Porsche just needs to keep this on track, and he will be given 5th Because of the lap time difference, we've got MSX 1978 has been given 6th place. Chromedix is in 7th. Wilson Big Mike in 8th. Ace Tuned in 9th. Fanstel Paul is in 10th place. We've got Mad Max in 11th. Stefan in 12th. Kamzer Czeki has finished in 13th. Ian TDI has found himself down in 13th. He has had a last lap nightmare, unfortunately. Ray Steve kept it going, showed some good pace, got to 15th. Emrosh in the Ferrari in 16th, and Red Flyer in the Bentley finishes off the drivers that made it to the end. We did start with 20. We had some absolutely brilliant battles start to finish, and that is some unbelievably great racing on track. We hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, here we go, final lap, folks. Yes. Any chance to the pace window? Yeah, no, we can't see the pace. They were lapping in about the 142s though. The faster guys were lapping in the 140 to 142 range. Yes, that was our first official live broadcast. Oh, wait a minute.